Hey everyone, this is Bob, and this is my third and final video for MVS Fromm class. And for our final video, we're supposed to find music that particularly speaks to us in one way or another. And so um, I had kind of a challenge because like the music I listen to a lot is more modern sort of hip hop, if not sometimes like top 40 stuff. And I was trying to relate some of the stuff I was listening to stuff we learned in Fromm class, specifically about what we've been talking about relationships and what love is and the nature of all that stuff. And the problem was, as we discussed in class, a lot of the sort of messages around love and relationships that appear in music that's released today is very low level, very shallow, and so it didn't really connect to what we've been learning and the depth of what Eric Fromm goes into. And so I did more searching, and I actually found something kind of interesting. Um, probably one of the most well-known artists of like last decade is Usher, and like he's done a lot of like dance hits and stuff recently. But I look back, and in 2004, he released an album called Confessions, and it was actually his most successful album. It sold like 1.5 million copies in the first week, and is one of the highest selling albums of the last decade. And I didn't know that. And the reason the album became so successful, and the reason why I'm presenting on it, is because um, Usher made the album after going through what for him was a very difficult period in his life, with a very public breakup um, and things about his relationships that had become public. And he wrote the album partly to himself, but basically it was literally his confessions on what had happened, and he was very open and honest about um, things in his personal life more so than what we see from most artists, and that's why the album became so popular and why it sold so much. And for that reason, it's why it kind of spoke to me. Because if you listen to some of the to a lot of the lyrics and the songs in this album, the song playing now is called "Simple Things," and basically that particular song is about um, he wrote it basically talking to himself, and basically he's telling himself you have to pay attention to, as he says, the simple things in a relationship, and basically relates that to um, working to communicate and understand, um, you know, that significant other in your life. So basically, um, and that speaks exactly to what we've been talking about as far as working to understand, that other person, your counterpart, and how continuing to work to understand the other person along with yourself is how relationships remain and how they gain longevity. So I thought that was particularly interesting that he went into that in that song. But also, the other thing he touches on throughout the album, and it's in songs like Confessions and Burn, which is a pretty popular um, song. And what he talks about is like a combination of working in a relationship and then also being honest with um, the other the other person in your relationship as well as yourself, and really gaining a true understanding of what is happening in your interactions between you and the other person. So that's what particularly spoke to me from um, what he's saying, and specifically in the Simple Things song just ended. He talks about it's the simple things in relationships that we forget, and you have to always communicate and understand that other person, or else you'll lose them. And it's again the exact same message that Fromm wrote and what we've been talking about is that understanding is the basis of successful relationships. So the song ended, so it's probably a good time for me to wrap up. But basically, in closing, I just wanted to say thank you to um, this Fromm class. Thank you to Mr. Squires and everyone in the class. This class has been really unique for me because I've learned a lot of things that will um, apply to me throughout my life, especially regarding relationships and the nature of love and how you can love another person. So, thank you to Fromm, and thank you to MVS. Tomorrow's, the seniors' last day, so we're leaving, and so yeah, thank you. And with that, see you later. Thanks for watching.